Hi everyone, this is Vicki. I've made a few Valentine cards, so I thought I would just share the cards with you. I am going to be making some more, so I decided just to share these. I got this die. It is a spell binder's die, and it says love, hope, compassion, and gratitude all the way around, and I just thought that was really pretty. However, I didn't know it was that big. It's pretty big. So this is a 5 by 7 card. So yeah, so it's pretty big. And I made it into a shaker using some plastic from packaging. And then I just used some, this is from Michael's, this paper, kind of shiny paper, and then lined it with this and put on a, distress. I think that's spun sugar distress ink. And then I did put an insert. This is a Sizzix that I've had for a long time. I think it's like a Christmas insert, but I use this, for the inserts. I think it comes out nice. And then distressed it and put a little paper flower there. It was in my stash. So it's pretty simple, but I thought it was pretty. I just wanted to see what this is going to look like. So then I made another one, and this one I made into a little booklet. So the side is like a book, had a little edge on it. I think it's like a half an inch. And I put some ribbon around it. And so this one has just got, some shaker, and then this put some butterflies in there. And I have put watercolor paper inside, and then made 2 signatures of 2 sheets, and ran the ribbon around each side, and then tied it in a bow. So that's how that came out. That's the 2 of the same cards. And then I got a die from a die embossing folder from Michael's this year, and I was just going to get some paper, and so it looks like this has the opening here, a cutout opening, and then it has this embossing through here. I bought this, it just happens to fit, last year I think from Target's Dollar Spot. So I put that in there, filled it up in there. And then I also made this into a little booklet. So this one has, this is watercolor paper that I embossed, and then put this onto cardstock, 110-pound cardstock from Michael's. And then I put my Arches watercolor paper in here. And so I think I did 2 signatures, yes, of that, and put the twine, this gold twine, around the 2 signatures, and then tied it. So it's just plain, and I backed it with this paper. I think it goes just from here to the back. This is a dollhouse paper. It's for the walls on the dollhouse wallpaper, but it was on sale over at Hobby Lobby a long time ago, so I bought that. But I like the little tiny print, so then I used that for this. Oh, and then I did put one of my clips. This is one of the heart clips, Prim heart clips that I've made in the past with the what is that called? Okay, it won't come to me right now, but it's one of those that goes through with the metal and the back. And then I covered another one so that the metal doesn't show through. And so you can just put it on your paper like this. And I don't know if I have a tutorial, but I have some project share for that. This is wallpaper also. that I used. So it's really cute. And so that's another one that I've made. Let me see if I have that one. Oh yes. Okay. So again with the same embossing with the die, I did come up with this one. I used a larger little bee die. I mean, I think what I did was okay, so you emboss it, it comes like this. Emboss it and cut it, and has a hole here. And then I cut this out with a little bee die, this size of the embossing size of the paper. And then I put a little distress ink on it, put a little flower, felted flower with some sari ribbon. Backed this paper, it's kind of in my stash. I have a lot of paper, so I don't even buy paper anymore. Just plain paper. Put a little newsprint. This is for this is a book page rather, with some gauze, pink gauze from Hobby Lobby, some embroidery thread on the edge, and then this one I put this paper that is deli paper I got at Amazon, and cut it to size and put it in here so it matches kind of the outside brown. Just and I can write on that one. And then I distressed it all with the distress ink and spun sugar. So that's, oh, and then see, that's what, it leaves a hole, and so you can fill it up with some shaker elements. So that's how that comes out. And then this has like a film of tracing paper on there. Okay, and then I went to the Prim Hearts. The Prim Hearts. This is I did this kind of on monochromatic colors, and it looks real shabby. This is wallpaper, vintage wallpaper, and then a doily, backed it on a double cardstock. Had this little seam binding, a little stamp. I stamped it and then distressed it. Everything's in my stash because I have so much I have to use it, right? So that's why you don't see me doing any haul videos, because I have to use what I have. I have a lot, and so got to use it. It's fun shopping, but you know, eventually you can't walk in your craft room. It's a problem. So this is a Prim Heart that I sewed in the past. I think I've shown a video of this with napkins, with adhered to the Prim Heart. Put a little bead on here, hole through there. And so I have this that I put in, I just glued this, I didn't sew it, and glued that in there for a little gift. So it looks like this. And a simple little card there. I'm looking for the envelope, but I don't see one. I'm probably going to use just a plain envelope. This one, this is the envelope that I made last video with the pink inside, and so I thought it would look cute with this. So I put a little of that paper on the edges with some music paper. I had made this up already, so I used this as my ephemera. This also was in my stash, and so I put Take a Journey and put a little vintage button and the same stamp that I showed you earlier. I think that's a Prima stamp. And then I cut a little piece of trim and put that on there. Embossed this Spellbinders embossing folder onto a white cardstock and distressed the edges. I put a little, if you can see this, little stars on some thread, sewing thread, vintage sewing thread, and I put that on there. tied it on. Inside I did put the paper, the same paper that's on the envelope, and I put Imagine Bliss. So it's journey, take a journey, imagine bliss, and on this little heart says dream, with a little cheesecloth and a little cutout. Put a little inking on through here, and that's the back. So that's this card. And the last, is it the last? No, there's two more. Okay, so this one is the little bee die cuts. So there's two hearts, but I didn't use the cross stitch on it, on the edges. I just cut two of them, one larger. They're nesting, so one larger, one smaller, and then put tracing paper over it. Actually, it might have been deli paper. It's about the same thing. Stamped it and inked it. Put a vintage button, a doily, some paper I had in my stash with some book pages, and then I distressed the edges. And on the inside, it looks like this, with the little postcard that you saw in the last video. And I have a little heart, paperclip heart, and a little tag that I stamped. I think this is that one from England, the stamps. I have a set of that. So I stamped a few of them, and I put some twine on it, and just stretch the edges. This is what the bottom looks like, and then I'll put my sentiment or write a note, and this is what the back looks like. Envelope is plain, just a plain envelope. And the last one I have, this is doesn't have any hearts on it. I think I'm getting tired of doing the hearts. Can you believe it? But this is some paper. I guess it's scrapbook paper that I for some reason I had a scrap laying on my desk, and so I thought it was pretty to use for Valentine's. And I cut it out, or I tore it out, and put it on this cardstock and distressed the edges. I did some vintage. I'm not sure what this is. This is some bandage, I think, or sling or something. Fabric. Looks like muslin. And then some old vintage button that has that part of a t-shirt on it. Probably, has some linen on it. A little vintage doily. And then this is a little label. I made a bunch of these labels and decided I will use this one on here. It's so cute. And with this crocheted, look at how cute that is. Little crocheted button that I found at the vintage market. And put memories, and also put a clip that I found at Michael's. These clips, I got a set of these. And so I put the little keepsake word in here, and I thought that was really cute. And this comes off, but it's hard to put back on, so I don't want to do that. And I did a little stamping from I'm trying to use my stamps, because I never use them, so trying to use my stamps. And so these are the Valentine ones. Put some of that paper. This is matching paper. I mean, it's one sheet that I had that was kind of torn up anyway. And then on the back, I just put some ink on there. Torn book page. And I have a ribbon. This is, seam binding ribbon. But this is the back of that. Isn't that so neat? I never saw those, and I thought those were so neat. So I did buy just one package because I had a coupon. So anyway, that's my my share. Oh, here's the envelope. So the envelope looks like this. Pretty plain on the outside. I haven't really finished it. And then on the back, I put lace and this little corner, metal corner. And that is all the cards I've made so far, but I was working on some other botanicals, so that'll be on the next video, and I will talk to you later. Have a happy day. Bye bye.